Alright, here is another update to the game. We got a temporary title here of Hoops of Fury, possibly not permanent, so don't worry too much about that. I'm going to go through pretty much the entire game now. I sort of have a shell for a beginning and an end, and we'll be able to just start placing in pieces or components of the game from this point on. A lot of the design will probably change, and all of the buttons, as you can see right now, are just plain red boxes. All these will change. It's just placement holders for everything, but the actual format and the foundation most likely won't change. Right now, play just starts off into the level selection. Options just brings up a basic window, which right now it's just a continue. More options, which is kind of redundant, but we can change it. Oh, and then that's the credits. Let me go back to the options. Some cool little stuff in here, just mainly for debugging right now, but volume, graphics, I can change it, go up or down. Stats, which is kind of nice, I can see the frames per second, so help for performance looking up, and triangles, vertices, which I haven't really found too much use in that yet. And then some basic system information. This is mainly just a test and play with the actual GUI of Unity 3D and seeing if it's worth using that, or as you can see back here, these are 3D or GUI textures. Stats doesn't do anything at the moment, but it's most likely going to show, how many balls they've shot, or what's their average percentage or accuracy, what level they've gotten to, high scores, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and go into play. Every scene will have some sort of menu in the top left. Since iOS doesn't have a menu button, I gotta have something to get you back to the main area. And this has the same as the beginning, as long as the main menu, which will bring you back to the main scene. Must not suppressed it. There we go. Okay, probably should make those buttons bigger. Okay, so right now there's just 2 levels in the game. There's level 1 here, and then the second level hasn't been unlocked yet. I'll probably just replace that with an image that says locked or something. Right now it's just disabled. So let's go ahead and jump into the first level. It loads asynchronously, so we can have some sort of loading screen show up. So let's go ahead and just start playing. I actually have been playing with image sequences for the backboard. So if I go ahead and, I think if I hit 2, there we go, it kind of looks dented. And if I make the 3rd, it will blow up. Sorry about the frame rate on the recording. Probably doesn't look that great when it blows up. I only have a couple frames, so it's a little choppy. But it's mainly just to play with the image sequences in Unity and seeing how well I can make animations with scripts. And I cannot seem to make this shot. There we go. See if I can get this again. Yeah, that didn't look too bad. Okay. Also notice that when I do blow up or break the glass, the screen actually shakes a little bit. I can probably add some sound effects with that, but see if I can get it again. You can notice that the screen actually shakes with the glass as it blows up, or breaks or whatever. Hit menu. See if I can get it again. Yeah, there we go. Also notice that instead of just keeping the camera consistent, as I go from one to the other, it didn't do it here. I'm actually adding, sometimes it rotates, my height sometimes changes, my angle sometimes changes to give it a little more variety. Let's see, what else have I done? Just looking at my notes. Load times, I've increased them by doing it asynchronously and also doing some preloading beforehand, so now it doesn't take as long to load. And I also reduced a ton of lag on the game when you would reload. When you reload scenes, it would become very laggy, so that's been fixed as well. So here you go. Here's an example of changing perspective. And for this situation, you actually are going to have to change your look in order to make the shot. Also note that the backboard now, it's actually just a texture. It's no longer 3D. purely a texture, and all I'm doing is when I make it a couple times, I replace it. So it's just an example of how I can start using the billboards and 2D look. I really like the cartoonish that it gave the backboard. If I can start giving that look over towards the rest of the game, it'll make it look really cool, I think. If I added a couple more frames along with the animation of the breaking of the backboard, that would look much more crisp. Even like right now I just have, I think, 3 frames. So if I just add a couple more to them, it could look a lot better. Just little stuff like that. So when you beat the level, or when you end the level, because you can either beat it or lose, but you'll always be able to get to the end if the timer counts down, which I walked through all that gameplay in the previous version. But right now I have 2 different ways to base it on. 1, you can see the total number of baskets that you've made, and 2, the total number of shots per, essentially your not your accuracy, the score. That's what I base it on, the overall score. Since some baskets have more points than others, if you get a specific amount of score, I think it's set to 75%, or maybe I think it's 2/3. It might be 2/3 right now. But that says whether or not you pass the level. Now, since I've passed the level, I can either retry at the bottom or go to the next level. So let's go ahead and do a retry, because maybe I want to, try harder, get a better score or something like that. And let's go ahead and actually just say, I don't know, we give up and go to the main menu here. I can press the button. And now, if we go back here, you can see that player 2 is now, level 2 is now unlocked. This is being stored locally on the file system, so when you close the game down, so actually, let's see, if I close this down and open it back up, yeah, it'll still be there. Well, I guess that wasn't really a good example. The process was still running, but whatever. So now we can go ahead and load up level 2, which it's the same level, just in a different spot. It's really just a placeholder to get the whole shell working. And it's exactly the same game. So let's go ahead and finish up this level so you can see the end. There we go. Nice. And I'm not sure if I said it, but I also keep track of the accuracy. So if you're spamming, we could possibly use that as a marker on whether or not you actually pass the level. Because one could just, rapidly toss balls, which I don't know, that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just keeping track of it, and it can be used in the future if needed. Alright, and then as you can see here, level 2 is passed. If you didn't pass, it would say failed. I probably should have shown you. Here, I'll do it again, but I'll fail. And then since this is the last level, there is no more next button, and it says stay tuned for more levels. So that would, I have a way to get to the very end and replace that with whatever we want, and can show game over or credits or something along those lines. So let's go ahead and fail. I'll just make one. And then let's just say I don't make it here. I'll let this count down. While it's going, I'll just talk about a few other things. Still have to, right now I'm still loading the levels. I did improve the times, but I'm thinking about just loading all of them in the very beginning and storing them. So that way it's instantaneous lookup. I still have to figure out how to do that. But I think that's probably the next step. And then the other thing is to start getting placements for all the sounds. Don't really have any sounds in the game right now, so I need to just throw down some code for all the areas where the sounds will go, and then we can just start placing them in. Alright, I probably should have set the time to be lower. Let's just wait for this to finish. There we go. Okay. 121%. That looks like a bug. It's definitely not the right accuracy. And baskets are 28. Anyways, so you see level 2 failed. and now it says retry, so I'd have to redo the same level again. So there's an overall beginning and an end to the game, and I can go ahead and hit retry and try it again. Maybe, yeah, okay. And then go back to the main menu. Alright, and that is everything so far. Alright, I'll have more to come.